Some basic trading rules each and every trader must implement in its own strategy. How much are you willing to lose on each and every trade? How much are you willing to lose on each and every day and every week? How many trades, maximum trades, are you going to take each and every day? And of course, going over and building a very specific watch list for each and every day. Hey there, W from FIBONACCI'S.com here with the daily market recap. Hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, and without any further ado, let's see the charts. CPI numbers came out, market reaction, first pop all the way to 414, then all the way down to 409, but bottom line, we can see that the Fibonacci levels together with the trend lines, they are a roadmap for future price action. Each and every time, follow price, use levels and trend lines to manage your risk. Now, let's see 414 to the upside, then we have 417.70, and above it we have the 421.80 together with this red trend line. QQQ trying to pop up and above this yellow trend line, holding the higher highs since beginning of February, earlier this year. Since then, as we can see, tried and failed. Also today, closed on this trend line. Once we understand the true relationship between candlestick analysis, aka price action, and trend lines, we have all that we need for future price action, and we can understand with high probability where price might be heading next. IWM, trend lines, once again, resistance for price action. As you can see, IWM popped all the way towards this red trend line. This red trend line goes all the way towards February, beginning of February, earlier this year. Resistance, 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 and also today, resistance, rejected, back to the downside, 173 still holding. Let's see price where might be heading next. Below the 173, we are going towards the 170, and then we are going back to 163. If IWM bulls will manage finally to break up and above this red trend line, next resistance will be the 180. As you can see, very clear, very clean chart. No other indicators, not even Fibonacci, not even volume. You know these trend lines, you know these support resistance lines that we drew several videos ago, several weeks ago. You know them because you follow me on Twitter and you follow me here on YouTube. If you don't, this is the time to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, then you won't miss any video that I publish. Dow Jones, once again, trend line holding as a very tough resistance for the lower highs since January of 2022. 1.5 years already, almost 1.5 years of a very tough resistance. This red trend line to the downside, 331, 332 is holding. Price range is getting tighter and tighter each and every day. Wait and see where price might be heading next. Above this red trend line, we are going towards the 341, and then 343 and 347. If bulls will give up on this red trend line, 332 to the downside needs to hold. Otherwise, we have all the levels to the downside, including this gap over here at the 322. Bitcoin, perfect example of why trend lines, not only the true support resistance for price action, they're also the roadmap for future price action. And as we can see, yesterday price tried to break up and above this red trend line, from resistance. If we go further back, this red trend line goes all the way here, September of 22. Resistance, resistance, support, support, and now resistance. One or two more days failing to break up and above and closing above this red trend line, we are going towards this orange trend line to the downside together with the 26,000. Ethereum basically moving sideways since April 21st. 1800 needs to hold a support. 1930 as resistance, breaking to the downside. We have this trend line and all the Fibonacci levels to the downside. Breaking above the 1930, we have the 2000. Let's draw a line, and the 2150. Until we don't get a break to the downside or a break above the 1930, sit on hands and wait. Be patient. Patience is a key element in trading. Bulls of Apple are trying with all their power in their hands to avoid filling the gap at the 167. They are trying to continuation towards the 182 and this upper trend line. In my opinion, this gap needs to get filled, and then bulls of Apple will have enough power for the next leg up, filling this gap, touching, retesting this white trend line, this red trend line, and next leg up towards the 182 with this white trend line to the upside. Microsoft, finally, after 2 weeks or so of sideways move between the 300 and the 310, today broke up above and closing above the 310. Very bullish sentiment on Microsoft. Next area of resistance will be the 316 together with the 320. Look left, 316 from support to resistance together with the 320 that was support over here. So all this area, the 316 and the 320, will be a very major test for bulls. Nvidia, sideways continuation, 276 to the downside, 293 to the upside, broadening formation, this upper yellow trend line together with the 923, very tough resistance as we can see, holding the higher highs, sorry. Let's see if Nvidia can break up and above and close the week above this one. Failing to do so, bulls might give up, and then 276 needs to hold, otherwise 264 and maybe back to this lower trend line. All we have to do, you guessed it, follow price, use levels and trend lines to manage our risk, because as traders, the only thing we have full control of is risk management. AMD try to break up and above and close above the 97, 98 area. This area, very tough resistance during March and beginning of April earlier this year. So now, not surprising, doji, second consecutive doji, indecision. Maybe bulls need some rest, pulling back. 94 needs to hold, otherwise we follow levels and managing the risk according to the levels and the trend line to the downside. Tesla basically bouncing between the 158 to the downside and the 170, 72 to the upside. We have two gaps. We have this gap over here at the 178. We have this gap over here at the 146. And gaps are like magnets to price action. This is why we see this price action on Tesla. One gap to the downside, pulling price towards it. This gap to the upside, pulling price towards it. So if you go on the weekly, price action, very tight price action on Tesla on the weekly. Always zoom in, zoom out to get a better point of view of price action. In my opinion, if you don't have any position on Tesla, I would wait to see which gap will get filled first, this one or this one. Once one of them will get filled, then we will see a real price action on Tesla. Until then, nothing much. Shopify. 61 now needs to hold. Breaking below it. We have 57, 55, and if 55 will fail to hold, we have this earnings gap to the downside, and we know that more than 80% of all gaps will get filled. If you like what you see and you find it helpful, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, help me grow this channel, help others become their own indicator. Stop following others, stop following lagging indicators. As we can see, Fibonacci traders, we don't use any indicators. We follow price. We have our trend lines and Fibonacci levels to tell us with high probability where price might be heading next. We have the Fibonacci Academy playlist, 20 videos, each video 20 minutes or less on how to become a better trader. Free playlist, check it out. How to become a better trader, technical side, and most importantly, on the mental side, the psychology behind trading. And check the links in the description below for more educational resources. We have our Discord. We have 60 minutes crash course. We have the full online course. We have one-on-one live mentorship program. We have various programs. Just choose one. Choose your own path. Pave your own future for financial freedom. Google, breaking above the 110. Now 114, and this white trend line, in my opinion, our next resistance. Finally breaking above this 110. This 110 held since, as we can see, April of 6. Bouncing between the 110, 104 to the downside, held as a very strong support. Now breaking above, we follow price. Next will be 114. Above 114, we are going towards this white trend line. Amazon, 110, once again resistance, but Amazon, as we can see, trend lines show us that Amazon is in an uptrend until proven otherwise. This is the roadmap for future price levels and trend lines, and as long as Amazon is within these trend lines, Amazon is in an uptrend. Netflix, short-term downtrend, trying to break up and above, 2 consecutive dojis, 337, strong resistance. Let's see if Netflix can close the week. We have tomorrow and Friday, 2 more trading days on this week. Let's see if Netflix can break up and above, close the week above the 336. Then 342 and 350 are next. And if you're a pattern trader and you seek patterns, we have cap, handle kind of pattern. Let's see if it will validate. Fibonacci traders, we don't rely on patterns because patterns are not reliable. The only thing we do, you guessed it, we follow price and we use levels and trend lines to manage our risk. Check the links in the description below for more educational resources. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, will be much appreciated. Don't forget to check the links in the description below for more educational resources. Until the next video, do good things.